by now, anybody who has a mission to run this country in 2023 should have shown his face. If that doesn't happen by mid-year June, then whoever comes after that, to the best of my mind, is not serious. It means he hasn't thought about it. The day the ban, the late Awolowo, it just wasn't it wasn't an astute politician. He was a brilliant man, but not. On the day the ban was lifted, I remember I was in university. The day the ban was lifted, the next day he announced every single thing. His strategy, I wanted to say propaganda.
His agenda. Maybe.
His agenda, yeah. Everything was ready.
Right.
When will we have somebody like that with a sense of purpose? You know, not somebody who has his eyes on whatever is left in the cookie jar, and rather than even put his hand in the cookie jar, wants to make a hole and put something under. You know, when you are still putting your hand, people can see it. But this one, they want to make
you
a
won't
hole,
see anything.
so you won't see anything. And it will be like when you go, for example, to buy Isiewu. You know, when you buy Isiewu, when it's presented to you, the thing you won't know that the pot.
Yeah.
The pot is you won't know that the depth of the pot is highly limited.
Yeah.
So when you see the Isiewu coming, you think that it's a shallow pot, you think it's a deep pot. Those are the ones that they're not. They will not take from the top.
Right.
They will make a large hole under the cookie jar. But after we've had a bit of fun on that, we wish the president well. He is our president. We thank him for telling us what exactly he's going to do, amongst others.
Right.
But it would have been nicer if he had said that, look, I'm going on health, whatever. I also want to take my annual vacation. And I'm handing over to Professor Oshibaju for the 2-3 weeks I'll be away. Let's have this culture that makes our leaders.
That's right.
It makes us have more confidence in leadership, not in the leader. In leadership. This idea of my government, that's why it's so difficult to run this country, because everybody believes that everything stops and lies, and it really shouldn't be so. But we wish him all the best, and hopefully we'll see him hale and hearty and chatty, as Lai Mohammed will say, when he comes back in 2 weeks.
That's right. Let's stay with the Punch newspaper. Nigerians tired of fasting introduce stimulus, Tinubu tells FG. That's page 20 of the Punch.
By the way, I didn't come here yesterday, so I didn't have the time to wish Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu happy birthday. I think in wishing him happy birthday, I need to correct an impression that people have for the umpteenth time. He doesn't like him. He doesn't this, he doesn't that. I have no business with him. Rather than the fact that he was a governor for 8 years and so many things have been ascribed to him, that affects me as a Lagosian and as a person. Outside that, I don't have any hatred for the man. I mean, he hasn't crossed my path and I've not crossed his. Indeed, we've had discussions twice and we were quite polite to each other. In fact, I said to him, long live the Jagaban, and we laughed about that. So I wish him well. He's had a very heavy political career. His beginnings shrouded in all kinds of mysteries. I honestly don't know why, but you cannot push him aside. He's a politician of some note. You can't push him aside. I will say what I said 2 years. No, how many years ago was Buhari sworn in? 6 years ago or something like that. That I believe that was when his cup was the fullest, and that was when the ovation was loudest. I still stand by what I said, but that's my advice to him. I could be wrong. But I wish him a happy birthday. I wish him and his family well. So yesterday was his birthday, and he said that that Nigerians are tired of fasting. I'm glad he knows that. But what he brings up as a prescription, it bothered me a bit. It sounded a bit trivial. It sounded like something that was set off the cuff. It sounded like something that hadn't been well thought out. And at such a moment, I'm surprised that former Governor Tinubu would urge the federal government to recruit at least, when you say at least, I mean you can recruit more.
Right.
At least 50 million youths to join the Nigerian army. I mean, who does that? Who does that? 50 million youths in the army?
Maybe not combatants. Maybe, other areas.
So so if there are
Maybe other areas of the military. We have graduates who are engineers. We have graduates who are mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, computer scientists.
Let me tell you,
they could get jobs in the military.
It was not a well thought out statement. What is the total population of the army? I mean, why would you want to recruit 50 million youths into the Nigerian army? I mean, come on, give me a break. He didn't. You can't even recruit 15 million youths into the civil service.
Into the civil service, right?
Combined,
right?
And therefore, it showed a lot of triviality behind the statement that was made. Quite. I must say that he must have. Maybe he didn't mean it, or he was misquoted, or he just said it off his head.
Maybe.
Does that show readiness to lead? This country is in a very complex state.
At this stage, you must be letting out your plans.
Your plans,
concrete
deep,
plans,
well-thought plans. Yeah. And he lost an opportunity there. The other thing that happened at the colloquium yesterday that I didn't quite I've tried to rationalize is, does Tinubu think that if the North votes for him, he has won the election, which they will not?
You think they will not?
At the appropriate time, they will not. I've seen it happen before me, and I'll not be small picking now. He should ask MK Abiola. He should ask him. You know what Wahab Dosumo of blessed memory told me one day? I said there was one election that he ran for.
Yeah.
And I said, Doctor, why are you running for this? You can't win this. You know me, I'm so outspoken. Hey, now you can't win this. In politics, you can't say you're not doing anything. That he knows. But that what he finds funny is the number of psychopaths that surround him that keep urging him on. He said to me, you sure, but you're the only one that told me. Yeah, the only one that's like, and he told me, better not say it in public or else they'll go after you. Because I was quite close to him. And so I just, let me tell you what some people think. Some people think that, okay, the Baba not a drop.
Yeah.
So at that level, there's some level of, hunger. And it looks like if the one we see in public is anything to go by, the Katsina markets, this and that, library in Abu or whatever, all these things. So they think that there's a lot of goodie bags.
Yeah.
That you can't tell a politician you want to do something and you have a goodie bag and they'll say no.
That's right.
Go and ask somebody what happened to him in Lagos.
He'll sing and dance and tell you that
go and ask.
Nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible. They urged him till he said that we know what you know. You know the full story. Go and ask what happened to him. And I don't know. I hope at the end of the day, no, I don't hope at the end of the day I'm wrong. But I just hope that, and I asked those who are very, very close to him. I know people who are extremely close to him. And he says that, well, I'll give it a try. But I can see that there are chances that it might not be. Now, where I'm going is this.
Yeah.
Why would you have two events in the north back
That's
to
right.
back? At the back of a serious agitation of some of your people, whether whatever depth they've gone for Dudua Republic, why would you have the two? You attended the Arewa function, which was not your own making, fine. But then again, you had your birthday in Kano, colloquium in Kano. Why didn't you have the colloquium in the East?
Well, someone said that it's either Tinubu is really interested in being president or he's building bridges across all divides to pave the way for his candidate. That's Esan Bolaji on YouTube.
Who is Esan Bolaji?
He's on YouTube.
Is Esan Bolaji his candidate, or Esan Bolaji said that?
He's saying that perhaps it's not about politics. Maybe he's just trying to build bridges.
He wouldn't go this far if he was building bridges for his candidate. Trust me. It doesn't work like that in politics. Trust me. I think he really. I think that. But every time I see him, I always remember my Bible. What it told me, what God did. When the Pharaoh was insistent that he wouldn't let the Egyptians go, then God did something. It's not in the Quran. I don't know. But I'm sure you also read the Bible.
It's there.
Okay, what was it?
Yeah. You want me to say it?
Yes, sir.
Can you help us?
That can't help you. It's not from my mouth. Yeah, smart Allen. I thought you would fall for that. Yeah, smart Allen. I thought you would fall for that. But I honestly, I wish him luck. But if he walks into this room and I can have 5 minutes with him, I'll tell him that the vision is loudest now. This is the time to just. Well, let's see how it goes.
Do they ever quit? Let's go to the Nation newspaper. Tinubu, a fisher of great men. Yeah.
Yes, yesterday, thank God I wasn't here because there was nothing to read in the Nation. It was full of ads and ads and ads and ads.
You saw it too?
I saw it.
Like
I saw it.
loads and
Loads.
pile of-
I've been involved in that kind of thing before. Let me explain to people.
I just picked up the paper and I dropped it.
The marketing manager of the Nation would have written letters to only God knows thousands of people. And the way it works is that, well, actually, is his birthday. Won't you? Instead of saying, would you say, won't you put an ad? You can't.
Yeah.
You can't be recorded as having said no. So I've done that job before. I know what it's like. I know. I thank them, and they made a hell lot of money.
That's like almost times 3 or times 4 of the entire leaflets of that paper.
You have to stand up to be counted. The question is, do you think Tinubu would have gone through those ads one by one?
No,
I
never.
I don't think you
never.
have the time.
Never.
I don't think you have the time. But I found this article quite interesting because of the headline, and it says he's the fisher of great men. And I remember the interview I had with Oshibaju when he said that he had never met Tinubu when he was summoned to be appointed Attorney General. And I think Olukoka almost said, I can't remember very well, but quite a number of them. Some of the members of his cabinet, I do know, Dili Alake, all these people, we all went to uni together and we've been friends ever since. And most of them, not all, but most of them said that they didn't even know him from Adam. Yes, they didn't even know him from Adam. So this article is right as it goes that he is a man who knows how to put people to good results. And I also think what I've also been told is that he listens to good advice. Yes, I've heard that he listens to good advice. But of recent, that hasn't been the same anymore.
Okay.
And that is what success does to you. But back in the day, they could stand up against him. He doesn't take it personal. Yeah, you could stand up against him and say, no, Ashwaju, you can't do this. And he would listen. Quite a number. Look at here. He says he gathered people like Wale Edun, Dele Alake, Rauf Aregbesola, Yemi Kadoso, BRF, Tola Kasali, amongst others. And even the writer of the article himself, Tokumbo Abiru, who I still have a bone to pick with him for turning down my request to interview him. He also picked him. He also picked Bernard Kabwezi, who was from Igbo extraction, and made him, head of budget. I think that in terms of using hands and getting things organized,
right.
It's a bit attributed to him. It's the other things that I ascribe to him that I find most worrying. Now, what he does is to dim the better part of him. Do you understand what I'm saying? All these things that I ascribe to him, he had done this, did that, and all the things. What he does is that he dims the good side. Yorubas have, I can't say it's a bit, you can't use that kind of sentence on radio, but they have something about how something little can spoil a whole bad lot. Okay, there's one bad apple. That's what they say.
Yeah, exactly. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube right now. Let's know what you think about the headlines we've cheated so far. That's Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3 on YouTube as well. We're sticking back. Wait, let's go back to the Vanguard. The Vanguard has a story here. Kidnapping proceeds used to fuel Boko Haram insurgencies, according to governors.
I'm surprised that the newspapers cast this headline. This is what normally happens. Kidnapping or crimes like this are used to fuel to fund other crimes. Indeed, let me surprise you. Sometimes these things are used for politics. That smiling senator out there, that smiling House of Reps out there, for all you know, could jolly well be a kingpin in the criminal world that you don't know about. Because politics in Nigeria, at the end of the day, is all about money. It's all about cash. So you will see a lot of proceeds. I mean, let's face it, theft not theft. Whether it's authority stealing or is pickpocketing or whatever, everything is theft.
That's right.
So what funds politics?
That's right.
What funds politics? What funds various agitations? So I'm surprised this was made a headline, but I just felt the need to at least read it to you and get to know that this is what happens. It's nothing new, and therefore some of the things you're actually seeing today ascribed to Fulani headsmen and this and that. At the end of the day, they could jolly well be raising funds for some projects, a presidential project for that matter. Is it possible? Let me ask you a question, Sheriff.
Okay.
And I'd like our listeners to go on Twitter and answer this question.
Right.
Is it possible for you to run an election campaign, ordinary governorship self, not even presidential, without proceeds from crime? Is it possible? The gentleman who said this, Fayemi, can he account for every kobo that was spent during his...
In Nigeria?
In
that
Nigeria,
question,
yes.
in Nigeria?
Yes, in Nigeria, yes. Is it possible? Because who is going to put money down for the kind of expensive electioneering campaign that we run?
That's right.
You know,
starting from picking up a form.
Picking up
the
form, picking up the form.
Expression of interest.
Before you go and pick up the form.
You would have done so many legwork.
Ask Kayode, what's his name?
And you'll be spending money on all those late night trips that you go to go and cast somebody mole and everything, you know.
I think I should write a book.
You should, right?
You know, yeah, I was in the corridor of politics for quite a while, and what I saw amazed me and completely demoralized me. You know, completely demoralized me. I am yet to be told confidently by anybody that you can run like these big ones. You can probably run the reps and things.
Even those ones,
but
there's a oh my.
Because you see, like I said, when you talk about crime, you always think of pickpocketing, kidnapping, and so on and so forth. This governor, where they talk, amongst his colleagues, how many of them ran their campaigns with clean money? Because embezzlement authority stealing is stealing now.
Stealing is stealing.
In fact, according to Baba, he passed some robbery. When you call somebody Mr. Fix It, and you give him an assignment and he cannot do it, what do you think has happened? Let's leave that one. They say don't talk ill of the dead.
Indeed. Let's take one more story before we go. Beyond jailing professor for election fraud. This is on page 18 of the Vanguard.
Beautiful editorial. Beautiful editorial that once we can make an example after a few people, we hope that they will be thinking twice. Even though the lecturer, he pleaded in vain for mercy for the judge still found him guilty of electoral fraud, sentenced him to 3 years in prison, and then he also is going to pay 100,000 naira fine. The newspaper commends Professor Mahmoud Yakubu's INEC and the resident electoral commissioner REC in Akwa Ibom, Mikey Guinea. You know
Mikey
Guinea for the diligent prosecution of this case, and urge them to wage a wider war on other categories of offenders to sanitize our elections. Now they say a sentence that I believe in. Let me read it to you.
Please do.
Crime without deterrence breeds more crime.
Absolutely. 101%.
You can't fault it.
No, you can't. You can't. But we must go now.
Okay. Ready to go and drink that expensive tea.
You are saying it on air now. You used to say this thing off air.
Every time I bring up my money.
Well, tea is good in the morning.
Tea is good in the morning. Tea is good.
Well, what's coming up at 9 though?
I did see you on Saturday. You were on your way to that as usual.
Yeah.
I had Candy Johnson, son. Today I have Ogala, SAN. And don't forget that Ogala was also the legal advisor to the APC.
Okay.
And is a very strong Tinubu supporter.
Okay.
Yes.
What will you be talking about?
I can't talk. I can't give you the video. I don't want anybody phoning me George or Matthew. But I've known Ogala from school.
Okay.
I've known him way back from uni. And so he knows my style. He's going under the bus. I can assure you. Within the first 10 minutes, my wallet. Yes.
And you still want, he's listening right now. Do you still want him to come?
He's already on the road, so he can't talk.
Senior advocates, you have heard though.
Within the first 10 minutes, my wallet. He go enter ground.
I'm sure he's prepared. He's a senior advocate. There's nothing that can come to those people. Surprise. No, you can't surprise them.
Wait and see.
Okay. 9 o'clock. They should join Jimi Disu.
By 10 after 9, it will be under a bus.
Okay, we have to go now. Jimmy, thank you so much for coming around.
Okay.
Many thanks to MTN. We're back in a moment with the news.
My name is Data Love. Nigeria Info, we are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.